So in this video, I'm going to try to answer some questions that came up on the live stream that I missed. I'm also going to address what is to expect Monday or later, well, you're probably going to see this Monday, later on when Mr. Watts goes to court. And I'm also going to address can Mr. Watts actually remove his plea agreement that he has entered into with the DA. And thank you for stopping by today. Okay, let's take this one at a time. So, first off, what is a plea deal or a plea agreement? A plea agreement or plea deal is basically it's a legal binding contract that you are entering into with the district attorney in your case to resolve one or more of a pending charges against you. Now, this is usually done at a disposition hearing in front of a judge where you enter your plea and your plea agreement with the judge. The judge then hears pre-sentencing information, and other recommendations from the DA, on time, and other factors like your criminal history and stuff like that will go, be brought up as well. Though that is what will happen for a basic plea agreement. Can Mr. Watts actually remove his plea agreement, or can anybody else remove their plea agreement that they've entered into? And the short answer is yes, as long as he does it before sentencing. At the actual hearing today or tomorrow, whenever you see this, because I'm going to upload this Sunday night, can he remove his actual plea agreement? And that, yes, he can. What he simply must do is just say that he is firing his attorney for ineffective counsel, and he needs time to hire another attorney. The judge will then ask him why he thinks he has received ineffective counsel, and he could bring up just the simple fact that he entered into this agreement because the DA was going to take the death penalty off the table, but he knows from firsthand accounts from the statement from the DA that it would be 20 to 25 years before, or ever, if the death sentence would ever be carried out. So you have to understand, on a plea agreement, how does that work? Well, here's your charges. Here's what you don't want to go to jail. All right? Somewhere in between, you have to come up with an agreement. The DA says, I'll give you this if you plead guilty. Your attorney then says, he'll plead guilty to these charges, but you give him this. And in this case, they took the death penalty off the table, but they got nothing else for it. Interesting facts about the state of Colorado. The current outgoing governor in the state of Colorado has refused to sign the death warrants for any of the inmates, the 3 inmates who are currently on death row. One gentleman has been on death row for over 20 years, and he refuses to sign the death warrant on him, so he'll be executed. The incoming governor in Colorado has already said that he is against the death penalty and will not sign any death warrant to execute anyone in their state. So what did he win? If he takes it to trial and fights, he could be charged, be found guilty of second-degree murder or manslaughter or a myriad of other charges besides first-degree murder. And he still keeps all of his rights to appeal on multiple different grounds. He takes the plea agreement. He can only file an appeal for ineffective counsel or misconduct on the part of the state, the district attorney or the judge. That's all he gets. It's just those 2 grounds. But if he takes it to trial, fights it, and then loses in the end, he keeps all of his constitutional and statutory rights to appeal. He can appeal on anything. They can't destroy the evidence. The evidence must be kept. They can't give it to the families. All that stuff needs to be kept right there. and it all has to be tested. Yeah. Now, is it normal for someone who is facing this level of and severity of charges to take a plea deal? It's extremely rare that anyone would ever take in a plea agreement to plead guilty to everything that the prosecuting attorney brought up, the 2 counts for each one of the girls. At the very least, they could have said, "Well, good, we'll plead first-degree murder on each 1 count for each one of the girls, but you take the second one away on each one, and he pleads guilty to Shannon's first-degree murder." It gives him the same sentence. He's going to die in prison, but at least there's a chance when he's 135 he can get out. But my point is though, he didn't have to plead guilty to all 9. He didn't have to take that agreement. What did his attorneys actually gain by going forward to the prosecuting attorney on his behalf and saying, okay, we'll plead guilty to everything here in exchange? Nothing. I mean, what kind of effective counsel is that? And I'm not arguing for him. I'm just saying that it's extremely rare, and he has a viable grounds for saying that his attorneys didn't actually do anything for him. And the judge would most likely say, yeah, but there might be something to this, and just put aside the plea agreement for now, while he hires a new counsel who may be able to actually get him a better sentence, guideline or deal. Because the death penalty isn't actually really an issue in the state of Colorado. I mean, it hasn't been during this governor's term, and it's not going to be underneath the next governor's term at all. So, okay. Things that are to expect on Monday when he goes to court. On Monday when he goes to court, the 2 sides will sit down at their table, and the judge will come in, and before he can plead guilty, take this plea deal that he has come to terms with and signed with the DA, before sentencing, part of the sentencing requirements is he must admit to killing each and every one of them. He must admit to killing Bella. He must admit to killing Celeste, because the judge is going to read him each and every one of the 9 charges and ask him if he is pleading guilty to it, or is he on under medication or alcohol? Is he being forced into this agreement? Does he understand mentally, the charges that are in front of him? He's going to ask him that on all 9 counts. If he understands it and he knows that he is giving up his rights to appeal in certain constitutional and statutory rights, he's going to ask him that. That is a given. All right? And then he must say, yes, I killed Bella. Yes, I killed Celeste. Yes, I killed Shannon. Yes, I killed my unborn son. Yes, I disposed of him. And he must, because the judge is going to read him one, and then he's going to have to plead guilty to it. Yes, then the judge is going to read him another charge, and he's going to have to, agree and plead guilty to it and say he did it. All 9 counts. He has to do it. And if he really is innocent of killing the 2 girls, why would he plead guilty to doing any of that? It's ridiculous. It doesn't make any sense. And even that gentleman who has that YouTube channel, who is an attorney, says the same thing, basically, that this is unheard of. It's not that it's never happened before, but it's unheard of. It's not the common course of action. You at least, if you're going to plead guilty to it, you bring it all the way up to the trial so you can find out what evidence the other side has. But they didn't do that before the hearings on fact finding or anything at all. They came to him and said, "Yeah, we'll just take a plea deal. You take the death penalty off the table. We'll plead guilty to everything." So again, Monday, it's going to be a media circus for the entire thing. Now, other things to expect is he could actually refuse to even go to court. he could just say, nope, I'm not leaving my cell, and I refuse to. So they will then put him in a cell, and they will wheel in a closed caption camera and go from there. So he'll watch the proceedings from his jail cell. Still has to plead guilty to all the charges, though. All right. So on the 19th, there is another case that is part of this. Another court case that is set on the autopsy results on the 19th. And on the 19th, the judge will rule if it is in the interest of the public to have those autopsy results released. And they will release them they're supposed to release them within 24 hours after the sentencing. So if he pleads guilty and he admits to all the crimes, and then later on in the day they will have that court case and they'll say, okay, he has pled guilty, the sentencing is done, within 24 hours after today, we will release the autopsy results. I have already paid a courier and put in my request for a copy of the transcripts for Monday, for when he pleads. Regardless, whatever he does, I've paid the filing fee for a copy to the county clerk there to get a copy of the transcript, and I will have a courier who will be receiving them once they are finished, and then I am having them brought to a third party where I'm having them FedExed overnight delivered to me. Now, that attorney who has that other channel that everybody keeps on like to tell me about, in case I'm living underneath a rock, he is doing the same thing, but he is local, and he will get a copy of them as well. Now, I've also requested a copy of the autopsy results. Yes, again, paid my fee and doing the same thing. I'm having a courier pick them up, and then I will have a third party receive them, and then I will have them FedEx to me. That's what I do. Everybody's so interested in how I get my information because I live underneath a rock. Nope. But I just want to let you know that I am going to be getting a copy of them, and they will be released, but they will not be released if Christopher Watts decides that he's firing his attorneys and he's going to go that route and he wants to take this thing to court. It could be years before we get them. But in the meantime, I will get a copy of the transcript from court on Monday of the actual. They won't be available Monday. They probably won't be available until Thursday once they've been transcribed, and then I can get a copy through the court that way. But I've already set up the courier and the FedEx and the third party, and I'm just waiting for the court to actually have them ready to, and I have to pay a fee for it. So, hey, that's what I do for you. Fair and unbiased reporting. But again, I'm not an attorney, nor am I a reporter. I have an information channel. Informational only. It's not a news channel. Okay, so to answer the questions that I missed during the live stream, no, I hadn't heard that his mistress was seeking a book deal to tell her story, or also that she may want to be paid for a exclusive to her story and her information. I hadn't heard either one of those. I mean, again, this is just me looking from the outside in on this. I wonder why she would want to come forward now, and why she's seeking the spotlight if she really is the mistress of Christopher Watts and that really did happen. So the whole thing is kind of curious to me. The next question that I missed during the live stream that was asked was, is Christopher Watts' father, somehow, could he be called as a witness if Christopher Watts removes his plea and then goes to trial? Could he be called as a witness to what his son confessed to him on the phone about? He could. To answer your question, yes, he could be. He would be considered a hostile witness, obviously, and it would also be hearsay. I believe. I mean, he wouldn't be able to be protected by clergy or anything like that. Confessing to a clergyman. But he's not a man of the cloth, obviously. But yeah, so he could be. And the last and final question that I missed on the live stream, I'm sorry again for missing all three of these, was, can Christopher Watts, if he removes the plea, can he then go back and say he will only plead guilty to one count of first-degree murder and of Shanann, and then that's it? Anything's possible. Would the DA want to do that? I don't think so. Actually, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't, but he could say, look, we'll drag this out for the next, 3 years in court, or you can, take this plea agreement. So, recap. Monday, court. He's either going to plead guilty or he's going to fire his attorney before sentencing. It's one of the two. All right. Next, the autopsy results hearing is also Monday, and I am going to get copies of the transcripts, the autopsy results when they are available and been released. And they have not been released yet. And by putting into the YouTube search results, there is no less than 116 people who say the autopsy results have been released, and they have them. Yes. Oh well. It's not like I haven't heard the comments, already. But that is basically what's going to happen. Now, Monday, I'm going to try to get a video up sometime in the afternoon after the hearing. But it's going to be a media circus. And I've got a couple of people who will be there locally who will, I'll be able to get first-hand information from, actual sources, who will be attached to this case then. And I will try to put out a video on this afterwards. If you're seeing this Monday, then later on today, I'm going to try to get a video up. I will try to have it up, no later than an hour after the actual court case has been resolved. If he pleads guilty, if he doesn't and he decides to fire his attorney, I will not have a video up then, later on today, or tomorrow, whenever you see this. All right. So again, thank you everyone for stopping by. Oh, and quickly, my information for today came from the Colorado Legal Defense Group and from NOLO, NOLO.com. Those are your two sources, and you can Google them yourself. Thank you. You stay safe out there.